Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, and so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show. Booyah!
Hump day! Hump day!
Oh, by the way, I gotta tell you this. I gotta tell you this story. I gotta interrupt you all because I gotta tell you the story. So I'm at this. Listen to me.
2 seconds into the show.
2 seconds in. Last night, I'm at this event. It's a party. Blah blah blah. I talked to this guy. His name is Tim. He's like, let me tell you a story about Jay Crawford.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Let me.
I got a story about Jay. Let's go.
He's like, I did media with Jay in college at Bowling Green.
Tim Payai.
Tim Payai.
Boom! What about that memory here?
Good
I had no idea where you were going.
This guy be
that
downloading.
was 40
Good
years
job.
ago.
Good job. I said
35 years ago.
I
got
said, would Jay remember you?
Oh.
He said, I think so.
Oh, come on,
he goes,
Tim, of
He
course.
goes, he probably thinks of me as a meathead. That's what he said.
Not at all. No,
He
I
goes,
love Tim Payai.
Jay, he said you were great. He goes, when I first met Jay, when you were first on Cold Pizza, he's like, I'm watching. I'm like, he said to me, he goes, that's Jay? Because he said in college, you were tiny.
So
You were
I told
skinny.
this story. I wrestled 98 pounds my junior year in high
You
school.
said that. That's crazy.
Now, I gained a lot of weight between my junior and senior year.
Yeah.
But when I graduated high school, guys, I was 5'8", 135.
Yeah,
So that's a tiny guy. Now,
very
he
young.
met me my freshman year.
Right. He
By the
said,
time I came home freshman year, so not even a full year, I was 6'1", 165.
yeah, it's a
I
big
grew major, but if I met him early in my freshman
Right.
year,
He said he
probably
first
was like,
met
"Who's
you-
this
So
Ruth
you-
Ward?"
who's this
So
little
you-
guy? He said you were shy at first?
Very shy.
Yeah,
Very
and
shy.
I was like, all right. I said, he's not shy anymore.
You know what? I give Tim a lot of props. He's got a great memory. When I walked in there, you have to remember I was a freshman, and I was supposed to be a baseball player. I was going to play baseball.
Right.
And I always say, had I grown 2 years earlier, oh, what could have been?
Yeah, right.
You know,
Wait a
I'm Al
minute.
Bundy.
You said
But
you was 5'9" and grew to 6 foot.
I was 5'7" when I graduated high school.
That's
I grew to
crazy.
6 foot in less than a year.
So you had to buy
That's
a whole
unusual.
new
All new
wardrobe.
clothes, bro. All new clothes. I started working out a ton. Like, I worked out a lot when I was a wrestler, but I would work out hard.
Yeah.
And I look at my body, I'm like, I'm still 98 pounds. I couldn't gain weight if I ate 5 steaks a day.
I felt the same
But it's
way in
funny
high
that
school.
Tim
Great guy.
remembers that. Tim's a wonderful guy.
Great guy.
Yeah.
And he-
What's he
he-
doing now?
He's, I can't remember exactly what he does now. I don't remember.
Hit
He
us
was-
up, Tim.
I'm sorry, Tim. I forgot.
It was
I can't
just
remember now what he
yesterday.
does.
Yep.
Oh, he does sales. He does sales.
I could
but
see
he
Tim doing
regrets not getting into media. It's still a regret to this day.
Tim, also, you know, we had the Panthers play-by-play guy on.
He mentioned him
Ginzoki.
too. I said he was on our show.
So our class was really filled with very, very talented guys.
He was telling me that.
And, and I always thought Tim was very good at it. I thought Tim's going to do this.
He's got a great
professionally.
personality. It's a huge
Yeah.
regret. 40 years later, he still regrets
I know.
not trying.
I can't tell you how many guys,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we can all tell these stories. I can't tell
yeah.
you how many guys I went through school with that
Yeah.
had great potential. But here was my thing. My skin was so thick. No to me meant probably.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so when the news directors were telling me you look 18, you know, go
Yeah.
smoke a pack a day and drink a fifth of bourbon a day and age a little bit, I just never gave up.
Plus, in those days,
I didn't have nowhere near the talent those guys had.
Plus, in those days, you had to, like when you were coming up, when I was coming up even, it's changed now, certainly, you had to be willing to go anywhere in the country.
I went to Hazard,
right?
Kentucky.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
said
Yeah.
you-
I went to...
They tell you to smoke a pack a day and drink some.
I had a news director, God
I
is my
could
witness.
attest, Jay.
Yeah.
Told me.
Told you to smoke a pack a day?
You'll know this.
But we didn't know in those
Mikey
days.
McNuggets was in
Yeah.
the TV world, and Mikey, when he graduated, looked like he was 13 too.
Yeah.
He's still.
I
I'm
had
about
a
to
news
say he look like
director
he's
tell me
15
he
now.
was from South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah.
And he said, I like your enthusiasm. I like your energy. I like your tape. You look like you're in junior high. What my recommendation is go out and live hard for a while. Smoke a pack a day. He was obviously kidding.
I was
He's like,
told the exact same thing.
we're the same guy.
It might have
We're
been.
the same guy.
It might have,
That was
they
the
said
talking
you look too
point.
young and
Oh
you
my
sound
God.
too young.
That's the
so
talking
go find
point.
a way to look and sound older. I'm
Yeah,
serious. I heard the exact same
I
thing.
did. I looked absurd.
Anyway, so
First
I
of
told
all,
Tim I would say hi to you. And he,
Hi, Tim.
Yeah.
And if you ever run into him again,
Yes, I do.
I think we've exchanged an email or two along the way. I think
he's involved in
found
the
me.
Little League
Oh,
as well.
wonderful.
So
okay,
I
good.
know him.
And we're remiss if we don't point out that today Tyvis, who's in
Yeah.
the hot seat, is wearing the GOAT T-shirt.
Oh yeah, get a close up on
So,
that, Steve.
that's pretty interesting.
I tried to put the shoes to match it and all. Yeah, let me move my leg. Look at that.
Now, was your argument greatest of all time or greatest in the game right now? Better than LeBron for sure.
Well, the argument was. So let me clarify my
okay,
argument.
that's why I'm giving you this opportunity.
My argument was the greatest at the age of 26 in the league.
That's an interesting argument. I didn't take it that way. All I heard, because it was so absurd to
Y'all
me.
all tuned me out.
Yeah, we did.
He did say he was the GOAT and then changed the goalpost.
I swear,
Yeah,
He
I
did
think you're
change
right,
the goalpost.
McNuggets.
Listen, I love Tyvis.
McNuggets
Oh,
is
my
right.
guy. No, Tyvis is my guy.
Oh,
But
Yeah, snakeskin.
Little something.
Hey,
Snakeskin
those are
jeans.
fly. Tell us about these. What are they?
What
these is?
Oh, I had these. These are some red bottoms. Or excuse me, Christian Louboutins.
Oh, wow.
I had these for about 6 years.
Those were
now.
at least-
Yeah. Walking in blood.
At least $300.
I feel like
And
I
I'm probably
pictured.
shooting
I said.
low.
Yeah, they was like.
I said to
I
Tyvis
think
he
like
should be like.
$800.
800. Yeah, I could.
He should be in Cuba wearing those, or some like Latin
gotta have a
country
cigar
on
on.
vacation.
I should have brought a stove.
Having a
I'm
beer.
actually glad it's right here. On today's show, why we're here, we're doing 90 minutes today because the fantasy football draft is. Are you guys streaming that live?
We're going to record it. We'll have a little video for tomorrow.
Oh,
But
okay.
if we don't end a little early today, Anthony, Earl, and I will be here till 8 o'clock tonight, and that's not cool. So
No, yeah. So in
we're
an
gonna
effort
end a
to
little
get
early so we got a little time.
the real vertebrae of this operation, the spine, is behind the glass. McNuggets, Anthony, Earl, Steve. We just sit out here and blather on. Oftentimes, these guys, and I want to do this because I've been thinking about it for a while, they are the workers of this operation.
Yes.
These guys are working 12 and 15 hours a day. They really are. And they do it because it's a labor of love, and I think the reason they do it is because they're committed to be successful. You know,
Right.
the reason that I made it out of Bowling Green with no talent, looking like I was 18, was because I wasn't going to be outworked, and I wasn't going to take no for an answer. And
Right.
all of those guys back there
Right.
have that same mentality, and they really are the backbone of the operation.
So that's why we're ending
So
at
we're going to get
12:30
out of here
today.
at 12:30 so they can get some work done for tomorrow's show before the draft.
Yeah, before
And then I'm sure after the draft they'll come back and they'll do more work. And then they'll get up at 6 in the
Yes.
morning and be firing off emails that we get. It really is.
Or
it's
sending me
crazy.
thumbnails at 1 o'clock in the morning so I can do my podcast.
Now, this guy, you're the commissioner in this thing, right?
I am. Well,
how many teams?
I mean, I'm
Oh,
running it.
I thought-
I don't know if I'm the
I thought
commissioner.
he was the commissioner.
I
You're
am not the
commissioner.
commissioner.
No,
I can't be involved
listen,
because
I don't
Channel
cheat.
3
I don't,
said
no,
Mike and I
no,
can't
I don't
do
mess
it.
around. There's 10 teams.
There's money involved, that's why.
There's 10 teams. It's the three of us.
Yeah.
Mikey McNuggets, Anthony, and Earl behind the glass. That's
Okay.
6. Tim Couch, Leroy Hoard,
Brad's doing
Brad
it.
Sellers, and
Ty, you're not doing it?
He is.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
You
yeah.
said the three. Okay.
Three
yeah,
of
yeah.
us. And who's the 10th person that I'm
Have
forgetting?
you ever played, Ty?
I played last year and I was terrible. So
Yeah.
this year I'm taking.
Have
the
you
humble
noticed
approach.
that former players really don't get into it? In fact, they despise it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. From
and
a lot
last
of
year I
former
found
players.
out.
Not all of them.
Yeah. No, there are
Maurice
some players.
Jones-Drew is
no,
into it.
Maurice Jones-Drew
Oh,
hosts
and
a fantasy
Jason Lloyd
show.
is the 10th guy.
There are some guys that do it, but for the most part, all of the guys I've talked to
I don't blame
about it
them.
hate it.
I don't blame
and don't
them.
do it.
I guarantee you if they give it a chance, they'll love it. Most people do.
I used to hate it until I
Jason's
became
the last
great.
person, by the way.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah, he figured
I
it
just
out.
thought of it.
So Tyvis got to be my young son is gonna be in this. He's gonna be in. I'm gonna show him how to work
So
this.
Mikey
good.
McNuggets
Wait
has
a
got
minute,
the first
you
pick.
be winning?
I win.
So you guys have already done the draft lottery.
Oh, yes.
And McNuggets has the
And
first pick. Who you
somehow
taking?
I
Oh,
ended up with
Jonathan
the.
Taylor. We could just start the draft at the second pick.
See, I think that's a mistake.
For some
tell
odd
him
reason, I ended up with the ninth pick.
Don't tell him nothing.
No,
Don't
go
tell him
ahead,
nothing.
take Jonathan Taylor.
Don't tell him nothing. Go
Now,
ahead.
one key thing here
I don't think he can do it again.
is it's a 2-quarterback league, or you have the option to start 2
This is
quarterbacks.
super flex.
Two quarterback
Super
league
flex.
changes everything.
So
Super
your
flex.
flex is a quarterback?
You got two flexes.
There's a flex and a super flex. The super flex means you can
Have
start
you
a
done
quarterback.
this before?
Do it almost every
Nobody
I have
else.
not
the
done that.
system.
That's
Nobody
fascinating.
else has but Bull.
I have never heard of it. I've never
Yeah, a
heard
lot
of
more people do it now because
It changes
with
the
one,
game.
with 10 teams and one quarterback, quarterbacks don't have as much value because
No,
there's
they
so many
don't.
good quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, you
But
can have
in
Patrick
this-
Mahomes, but
Right, but the difference between Mahomes and the 10th fantasy quarterback is
it's
not
great.
huge.
No, it isn't. You're
Stop
right.
giving these cats.
All right, that's
That's why we
fascinating.
do the 2
What is
quarterbacks.
that? What is the topic? What are we supposed to be talking
all
about?
right,
Well, we have Dave Richard tomorrow who will come back and tell us how we all
He can
draft.
Okay,
analyze
good. He's
it.
going to analyze the teams, give everybody a draft grade, I hope.
Let's get
Yep.
this
All right,
money.
so on today's show, Leroy
Yeah.
Hoard. We've carved out an hour for Leroy to talk.
That's 2 questions.
Yeah, that's 2 questions. Preacher Leroy, we love you, brother.
Y'all ain't right.
We love you. The Guardians won last night, and I'm telling you,
Great win.
We'll wait to talk more about this later, but Cal looked phenomenal. The whole pitching staff.
I feel really good about him. And Will
I
Benson
feel great about
made
Will
great
Benson. Made a
catches.
couple
The
of great
whole
catches.
pitching staff.
All right, and we're also going to do true and false with another new member to the Browns roster, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now we've done that twice. I think you did it once last week when I was gone.
We've done it twice.
Yeah.
Tyvis won last
Bull
week.
won the first one going away.
Yeah.
Bull won the first one.
I
but
was
Tyvis
winning the
had an epic
second,
comeback
and
last week.
Tyvis made a huge comeback
he
and
did.
beat me on Josh Rosen trivia.
It's never over until it's over. Always
So
remember
Josh
that.
Rosen was the player last
Yeah.
week.
No, last week was.
Felt like The Rock.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we
Last
just
week we
do.
were set. And then we
do
did a
Josh
Josh Rosen stat line game last week.
Oh, stat line. Okay.
Isn't that what you beat me in, was the Josh Rosen stat line, or was that a different day?
No, you guys all.
No, that was a different
Oh, it was
day.
the
That
true and
Friday.
false on, I don't remember who it was.
Jason won the stat line game.
Guys, and
Right.
before I forget,
Jacoby
because
Brissett.
Right,
I'm almost a senior. We used to do something at Cold Pizza that was a lot of fun. We had a huge whiteboard. It was 6 by 6 mounted on the wall. And anytime a guest of note came into the studio, they would sign it. Oftentimes they would sign like a little whatever, a little message. At the end, when it was full, we would auction it off for charity. Made a ton of dough doing that. Because, I mean, think about it. We were in New York City and everybody came through.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, it was an A-list autograph board. And we did that, you know, when it would get filled in about 6 months, it'd be full.
I actually do have an extra whiteboard upstairs, Jay.
Yeah.
No. Give me a shot of our. I ordered this when we launched the show. Steve, can you get a shot of the?
Steve is funny.
I know he is. How he found that fast?
Yeah.
So I want guys when they come in, Cleveland guys,
We should have him sign that.
to sign
Yeah.
that Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show Fathead, and they sign it in the white and sign it wherever they
We've
want.
missed some good ones
I
already.
know we have. I wish I
Yeah.
would have thought about this at the beginning because
Bernie
we've had
sign the
CC
helmet.
Sabathia, we've had Bernie Kosar, we've had
Chuck Kyle.
Joe Jones.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's kind of cringy now.
Yeah.
But we've had some good ones up there.
Len Barker.
Len Barker. Bulls.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Google it if you didn't hear about Super Joe.
The-
It broke our hearts. First
We
of
had-
all, I love Joe.
We had
He
the
brought
woman
us-
from the Facebook group.
I mean, I was just chilling.
What is going
when
on
it come
today?
back, when it come back, I was chilling.
Oh, no, we're in trouble now.
Full in rear form today.
This guy.
I hate you, Bull.
I love this.
I hate you. I hate you right now.
Pull it together.
All
will
right,
ya?
let's go. We're all professional, sort of.
Here we go.
Okay, so we're going to do true or false too. But we're going to start today with a report. We wanted
Yeah.
to do this yesterday, but I
Yes.
thought our discussion yesterday was so good. We just blew, like, I think McNugget said we got to about a quarter of our rundown yesterday.
Yeah.
25%.
Because we ended up adding Cynthia Freeland very late, just before
Yeah.
the show, and that kind of
We
took
had
over
good
the show.
topics.
Very good topics. One of the topics that we left on the cutting room floor yesterday, which I was fascinated about, Mike Florio dropped a report. I think it's been 2 days ago now.
It was on Monday.
Okay, so it was Monday. He writes a story about how NFL owners
Yeah.
pushed for the commissioner to suspend Deshaun Watson for 11 games, with the whole reason being that way the contract wouldn't roll over. If it was for a full season, the Browns would still have Deshaun Watson for 5 more after this year. So his article basically, I don't know, I don't want to call it a conspiracy theory because I'm sure he talked to some owners, but the story, the gist of the story is the owners pushed for 11 as a way to punish the Browns and make this year go away, and now they only have them essentially for 4 full seasons. Do you buy that report from Mike Florio?
I don't. People always, clickbait. This feels like clickbait to me. Obviously, I don't think Mike Florio made it up.
Right.
There's probably somebody did tell him this.
Yes.
But we were hearing for months that the owners wanted 17. They wanted 17.
Right.
Now all of a sudden it's 11. Now they wanted 11. I just don't buy that. First of all, if I get it from you would have him for 1 more year, but ultimately, if the Browns want to keep Deshaun Watson, he's going to stay here. Right? If they're winning and he's playing well and he's getting paid a ton of money and this organization stood by him big time when he went through all this, he's going to want to leave? I mean, so I think in the long run it's not going to matter. Plus, it does give them a better chance to make the playoffs this year. And if they do make the playoffs, they'll have a better chance to win it if he plays. If he was
And he will be allowed to play in the playoffs.
Exactly.
So,
If he was suspended for the whole year, okay, yeah, it pushes back his contract a year, but you would have, I think, almost no chance to make the playoffs this year,
Right.
and certainly no chance to win a Super
But
Bowl.
you would still have that 5th year of control
right, but
down the road.
I just don't buy that. I don't buy that all these owners were like, we're going to punish them 5 years from now. They'll have to pay him even more money
you're right.
to keep him. I think it's too much of a stretch.
Tyvis, what do you think?
I think it's somewhere in the middle. I mean,
Yeah.
I can see them saying do 11 games so the year count because it'll mess up the money a little bit. Like, obviously, they will have less money moving forward if this year counts. So I can see them trying to – because at the end of the day, every owner is still mad at the Browns for giving – how dare you give a player something that he earned and he deserves, a fully guaranteed contract. Now we got to do it. So, of course, they are a little bitter about
There's
that.
definitely
so
animosity.
I
It's
can
affecting the Ravens'
I can-
negotiations with Lamar
Exactly,
Jackson.
exactly.
And
Now,
the Ravens have even come out publicly.
yeah,
and-
now
and
we got to
chided
come out and
about
do
it.
something about this. Now we got our quarterback's going to expect to do it. You'd have messed up the whole market. So, yeah, punish the Browns a little bit. I can see that. That definitely could be a possibility.
What about you, G. Bush?
Man, I completely 100% agree with it. He's actually just putting the names to the faces with it, right? Listen, the NFL owners are, I'm not going to say they're racketeering, but the NFL owners don't move without nobody saying so, and they give the approval. The owners picked it what the suspension was going to be. They picked it, right? They said 6, that ain't good enough. And if it was going to be 6, 2 things happened. They like, well, these guys are still competitive. These guys can really come back and still win and make a dent in this thing this year. If it's 11, they got to pay him. 11, they got a backup quarterback. 11, people can say, oh, look at this. And 11 keeps us out of court. Because they wanted to go to court. They did not want to go to court because they had their stuff. But at the same time, they wanted enough games so it made it look like they was getting what they wanted to.
Maybe so, but don't you, as a Browns fan, wouldn't you rather him be suspended 11 than 17?
Well, I don't think 17 was on the page. I never thought 17 was on the books.
Well, but they could have if they wanted to.
And
the league had said publicly they wanted a year.
Here's what I think happened, maybe. I think once they decided on 11, they said, yeah, well, here's a bonus. The Browns are going to be stuck that 5th year.
Yeah.
I don't buy that this was the intent the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't
so
think-
that's a good point.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of with G. Bush and Tyvis, and even a little bit with you. I think what happened here was the number one priority of certain owners was get this thing settled.
That's it.
It's not going to court because then our secrets are going to be dragged out into the public. We're settling one way or the other. So once they came to that agreement, I think then the options were 17 and 11. The same owners that wanted this settled so it wouldn't go to court were also terrified of 17 because 17 likely would have been appealed by the Players Association.
Right.
So it could have still ended up in court.
But it could have never been settled at 17 because Deshaun Watson's camp wouldn't have agreed to 17.
We don't know that.
Okay,
we don't know
that's
that.
my assumption. But we don't know.
And I don't know. And the reason I think the league was leaking that they were searching for indefinite, when you're in a negotiation, you leak what your absolute dream finality is. Knowing you're not going to get there, you're going to have to settle for the middle. Mm-hmm. The fact that they didn't say we want a year, to me, said, well, that's what they're going to settle on, a year. They're shooting for indefinite, scaring the Players Association and Deshaun, maybe coaxing them into settling for a year. I think there's this, and you said somewhere in the middle. Mm-hmm. I think there was a fraction, and we know this because just go talk to 100 Browns fans. You're going to find that this thing is split wildly. There are those that don't want Deshaun Watson on the team. There are those that say, who cares? We don't think he did anything wrong. He was not charged by the court of law. So we're fine with it. I think the same thing with the owners. If you were to poll the owners, some would have said, I want it indefinite. Some would have said, I wanted a year. Some would have said, I wanted 11. Just like the general population. It was all over the board. I think at the end, what we came up with was exactly what I had said before the settlement was, I think it's going to be something that neither side loves, but both sides can work with. And that's where we are.
In the end, the fact that he gets to play, obviously you wanted the 6 games. We got excited about 6 games. I still think it's at least a slight win for the Browns that he gets to play this year. It gives him a better chance.
Now, we could revisit that. If he comes back and they're 4-7, and this year is a complete total loss,
or if he's so rusty by that point,
which he could be,
years that he doesn't play.
And then what we're going to then it's possible at the end of the season, or even before he comes back on the field, everybody's saying this: Wish it would have been a year.
Yeah.
Because
But
in the
at
case
this
of-
moment, I'm glad it's not.
I mean,
I wouldn't. No, that's not necessarily true because if he comes back and he's rusty, if he'd have missed 2 years, then he'd have been even
That's
worse.
true.
yeah,
Good
that is
point.
true. That is
Yeah.
true. But next year he'll have the complete training camp and be able to play in the preseason games.
But he won't be able to be in a real.
So you're right.
game.
There is some
Yeah,
tangible benefit.
Even
to
if
playing
they are
this year.
terrible, he's
However,
still going to be
did you know,
playing.
thinking about this, I went back to Frankie Lindor in the year that the Indians eventually brought Lindor up.
Yeah.
If you remember, they waited until, was it June 1st when the calendar starts ticking
Yeah,
for the.
yeah.
So
Right.
they waited until after that, which would give them 1 extra year of control on
Right.
on the back end of Frankie's deal because
Yeah.
his major league clock didn't start ticking.
Sure.
And they ended up missing the playoffs by just a handful of games.
Yeah.
And once Frankie came up, the team went like this. So
Yeah.
fans looked at it and said, we kind of cut off our nose to spite our face here.
Yeah.
Because we're probably
And that
not going
happens
to
in
keep
baseball
this
all the
guy
time.
long
Yeah.
term anyhow.
Right.
So all we did is add a year to the back end of his deal that he'll never fulfill in Cleveland, which he ended up not.
Right.
And in the meantime, we missed an opportunity to try to seize on a World Series.
There's something
Yeah.
I look at it with this. A lot of people think that he's going to come back and he's going to be rusty and a lot of these different things, and that could be a possibility. But for the league, it could be the worst option. If the Browns come out and they're in those first 11 games, they're 8-3, and now every single game they win, you know what the chatter is? This team looks great. Wait till they get Deshaun Watson. This team looks awesome. Wait
That's
till
true.
Deshaun Watson
Yeah.
gets back.
To be fair, though, even in his first preseason game, them stats right there, 1 for 5. His first pass was the only pass that I was like, yeah, he rusty or he excited. But outside of that, everything else.
And you know what?
He
Even
moved
that,
well
Tyvis-
in the pocket. He threw the ball really well. They just
Even
dropped
that first
it.
pass, first of all, it was a rollout left.
Yes.
That's a difficult ask
It
for a
is.
guy's first
It
pass.
definitely is.
And what always happens in the Super Bowl when it's the quarterback's first appearance in the Super Bowl?
Oh, that
he overthrows it.
Yeah, that adrenaline's
I mean, when
rushing.
you're pumped,
yeah.
you do. It's the same thing when you pitch. When you're pitching and your adrenaline is kicked,
Yeah.
you're typically going to overthrow the ball. You're going to it's going to miss its target. It's going to miss high. That's exactly what he did. After that, the 1 for 5 is misleading.
It's skewed.
He had 2
Yeah.
drops and another one that
Yeah.
could have been caught.
And y'all been watching football a while, right? I don't think in the context of the whole entire NFL, in the history of the NFL, there has ever been somebody as a quarterback who's come back to a contender team in a playoff run and he automatically starts. Usually, generally speaking, if you're injured, they don't bring
You mean if they're coming back from an injury?
Yeah, coming or just
Well, you think about
Drew Bledsoe never got his job
no,
back.
and neither did Alex Smith in San Francisco. with
Alex
Colin
Smith didn't
Kaepernick.
either. There are
But
others.
the gap between Deshaun Watson and Jacoby Brissett
Yeah,
is pretty huge.
Bush, are you insinuating that if
they
they're
could stick with
8-3,
Brissett?
No.
that there might be a decision
What,
to make?
no, what I'm saying is if they're 8-3, this is going to be one of the biggest stories because a quarterback, generally speaking, does not return in the middle of a year.
I got you.
That's true.
Usually speaking, especially if it's a star. Like
Yeah.
it would be the equivalent of Andrew Luck saying, I'm coming out of retirement right now and I'll be ready by week 11.
Yeah.
People would be like, whoa.
By
Like,
the
what-
way, if
what the- for real?
somehow the Browns are 8-3, I don't think any of us think they will be 8-3,
Yeah,
but let's say they are. The defense is phenomenal. The running game's phenomenal.
Right.
Brissett's not turning the ball over. They're 8-3. There will be, I certainly will not be amongst them, but there will be a percentage of our fan base that will not want to start watching.
30%.
Listen,
That's
Captain Jack was on. You remember what he said? If they're playing
Yeah.
well, there's going to be a decision, and I don't
don't.
know that I would put him out
He
there.
said that. He did
Yeah.
say
He said
that.
it on the show. And I was kind of like, wait a minute. I don't think anybody has even thought that that's a possibility.
Right. I wouldn't even
But
consider not
you're
changing it,
absolutely right,
but
Bull.
there will be a fan.
The radio airwaves
Yes.
will be filled
Yes,
with
it will.
callers saying, why are you going to mess with this chemistry?
Yes.
And the story comes
What
back,
the-
right? Because so for a while, the Browns fans who don't want Deshaun Watson, they'll be silent because the season is here. There's nothing to talk
Right.
about. But the second he comes back,
Yeah, you're right.
that's a part of it.
Well,
You're
the
absolutely
difference,
right.
And-
The
Go
difference,
ahead,
the
Tyvis.
difference between a typical story in this one is that he will be back in the building with October 4th, 10th,
Yeah,
or so.
10th.
So he'll be practicing and he'll
That's
be
true.
there and get the chemistry
Now,
down.
he'll be
so-
back in the building. He
practice
can't
starting
practice
the 10th.
until
Well,
November.
Yeah,
can't
well,
practice
he'll
till
be in the
November,
building.
But he'll
so-
be in the building.
Yeah.
His teammates will see
Right.
him there.
And he will be practicing for a few weeks.
Few
before.
weeks
yes, he gets
before
a
he-
couple
so,
weeks lead up
yeah.
before the Houston
But
game.
here's the thing. Part of the reason there will be, I agree, it's probably about 30% of the fans. Part of that is, and I've talked about this a lot over the years, we are a scared fan base.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Cleveland
are.
fan base is a scared fan base.
Absolutely
They live
right.
in their fears.
Even
And
when things
so-
are going well.
Even when things are going well, they don't want change.
No.
Whenever I talk about the Guardians should make a trade, the Cavs should make I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah,
They're
right.
doing well, don't mess with
Wait
it.
a minute,
And
though.
so rationally, you know that Deshaun Watson is a zillion times better than Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
And yet, there's going to be our fans that are scared. It's like, it's going well. I don't want to do anything. I'm like, well, but this guy's much better, so it will, in theory, go even better.
Let me ask you this. So I think everybody has a number.
Yeah.
Is it 8-3? What if they're 9-2? What if they're 10-1?
I don't care if they're 11-0.
I don't care if they're 11-0.
If they're 11-0, you're going to change that.
I'm going to tell you why.
See, I don't know,
No,
man.
Jay.
I don't know.
The chances of that are so slim.
I know it is, but I just thought it would be a fun hypothetical to talk about, like, if they did get off to an 11-0
If they're
start.
11-0, I'm still making a change because this is the same fan base that's screaming it's Joshua Dobbs' season because of what he did in the
Exactly.
preseason. And Deshaun Watson is better than Joshua Dobbs, but they love the fact that he's low ball.
Breaking news: Deshaun Watson better than Josh Dobbs. I'm clipping it.
Hold on. Let me ask Tyvis this. This is Tyvis. Y'all lived through this.
Yeah.
Y'all lived. You had Braxton Miller.
Yeah, we did.
He got hurt.
Yeah, he did.
You put JT Barrett in.
Yes, we did.
He balled.
He did.
Then Cardell Jones played for 4 games and killed it.
Yeah.
That next year, everybody was available.
Yeah, it was.
So when
That was awkward.
So
It was.
when you
Both of them are dudes.
both of them. So when you see JT Barrett and he come back the next year, you like, but he was like
He was that deal.
He was the one of the player of the year in the conference.
I think he might.
He
have
was
been.
a player of the
I think he
year.
was.
But the Cardell Jones was like the MVP of like.
Cardell Jones
was
put
the-
the hottest
he
3 or
was the-
4 game stretch together, maybe in Ohio State history.
Incredible.
It was like the Big Ten player or the guy that won the national championship. Like it's
So Urban Meyer actually in this case
had this decision.
picked Jacoby Brissett. He picked Jacoby Brissett.
He picked Cardell over JT.
And so it was like, okay, well, we go ride with it.
Well,
But guess what happened?
JT ended up back in the role.
that seat.
Right.
It
But
was,
to be fair, at the time, we didn't know there was that
At
big
the
a gap.
time the decision was made,
Was
off
tough.
the body of work we had to evaluate, there were a lot of folks that said Cardell Jones needs to go pro right now.
I was one of
I was
those.
about to say,
I
I'd
was
say
too.
about 98%
Because
of the world.
I was
All he
saying
could
that.
do is come back and hurt his stock.
And that's what happened.
What did he do?
Yeah.
Because his stock couldn't have been any higher.
Nope.
The
I
only
wonder
knock
where he
against
would
him
have been
was,
drafted had he come out then.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Some people say second round.
Some people say he was the third best. He'd have been the third best behind Jameis and Mariota. He'd have been the next guy. 'Cause I don't remember who the next guy was.
I'm sure there was a mix of. There were a lot of NFL GMs because when a player decides to do this, as you know, they talk to their head coach, they talk to NFL GMs, and there are a lot of other people that can. But I think there were a lot of NFL GMs that would look at Cardale and said, "We haven't seen him enough."
Yeah.
You know, and he came in and had an all-star team around him.
Yeah, he did.
It was a national championship team.
Yeah.
And he came in and he didn't screw it up.
And to be fair, he only had like 2 days to make the decision because we played the national championship, and I think the deadline was like 2 days later. So it was a quick
it was tough.
turnaround.
He was gathering information probably all during that
Stinks
time.
that you only have 2 days.
It
That's
was-
not
it
like
was 2 or
five.
3
It only
days.
really affects 2 teams because everybody else is done 3 weeks earlier.
But why does it need
2 weeks earlier?
I mean, can't you wait another couple of weeks?
well, you know how that NFL clock goes. It goes so fast. I mean, they have literally the combine
It's
is
in February.
just after the college season ends.
Yeah.
And Cardell was in a particularly unusual spot because he was.
Hey.
It was just a couple of weeks. We didn't know how good he was, really.
Off topic here, but
Yeah.
should the NFL do what the NBA does? Well, did they? What league had it where you could enter the draft?
The NBA.
NBA.
NBA, right?
You can enter, and if you ain't hearing good stuff, you can return back.
Maybe
to
the
Right.
NFL should do that.
They
I,
should.
I said that in the NBA, if you don't get drafted in the first round, you should be allowed to go back to college.
Well, they'll say that you didn't receive payments and you
But
didn't.
at
Well,
this
yeah,
point,
but that's
who cares?
moot now.
No.
I guess now it don't matter.
Yeah, no, it
I
doesn't.
think in the NFL you should do the same thing. If you
I
don't get
like
drafted
that
by,
idea, Bull. I like
if
that
you don't get
idea.
drafted in the top 5 rounds, maybe in the NFL,
Yeah,
then
I
you
would say
can
3.
go back to college if you want.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But in
McNuggets-
Cardale's case, he would have been drafted top 3.
Yeah.
Right,
McNuggets
sure,
got
sure.
something for us.
McNuggets.
So to answer your question of who was the third quarterback in that draft, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Garrett Grayson.
That's what I
from
said.
Colorado
I
State.
couldn't
Wow.
get something.
I never even heard of him.
He
He
lasted
should've
2
went.
years in the league before it got bummed. Sean Mannion was next, then Bryce Petty, Brett Hundley, Trevor Simeon.
Yeah, he would have been
Oh, my
third.
God.
That
Well,
was-
Hundley and Simeon are at least still in the league.
Man.
And we're going to get to Leroy in a sec. Before we get to Leroy, though, Jay mentioned working out earlier. He was skinny in high school. Well, Jay, you could have solved all your problems if you had a Built Bar back.
They didn't
That
have
was
them
your
back then.
fault. Built Bar, if you haven't tried it yet, absolutely delicious. I got a whole box in. Me and Anthony have been snacking on them in the office upstairs.
I hear
Eventually
about
we'll
it.
bring them down for you, but you guys don't deserve
Slackers.
it. It's the reality.
haven't earned it yet.
160
You haven't
calories,
earned them?
15 grams of protein. That's why me and Anthony are looking yoked. Y'all are looking small out there. We're like mini Leroys. We're just getting ready to be, when Leroy comes to town, take him over to the...
Very mini
That's a lot
Leroy.
of trash talking from
You're
the
a
Nuggets
very
right
mini
there.
Leroy.
Between the three of us, we might be one Leroy. But either way, use promo code LOCKDOWN15 and get 15% off your offer at Built.com. Built Bars, if you're not eating them, you're stupid.
Now, Anthony,
Oh, my, is that their tagline?
Yes.
It is now.
yeah.
Built Bar. If you're not eating them,
You're stupid.
Now,
stupid.
now, Anthony, you know you got to do push-ups with those, right? You got to
Yeah, you can't just eat 'em.
Can't just eat Built Bars and get built, bro. You
whole-
gotta,
It's a whole weight room over there. You better
It
go
looks like he just woke up.
he look like
Leroy's laughing. Let's bring Leroy in.
Leroy!
Leroy.
Here we go. Leroy,
What's
when
up,
we gonna-
fellas?
When we gonna play some golf, man?
Golf.
If he ever
You,
gets up
you
here.
don't want none of this smoke. I seen you hitting balls out there like Jalen.
Hey, throwing the club.
What's the minimum buy-in for this young Buckeye, man? If he want to get on the course with you, what's the buy-in?
I'll play my friends. I have a whole book of autographed dollars. You worthy to go in my book. I'll put you in my book. Sign the dollar. Sign the dollar. I'll put you in my book.
You must have $5 or $6 in that by now.
Oh, this guy.
What?
I'm
No,
going.
man.
Hold on. I'm about to take lessons from LT. LaDainian Time, remember?
Oh, that LT. I thought you saw about the other LT. Stay
No, I
away
can't.
from
talking about
him.
the real
I can, the real LT. I can't get in touch with him, but I might be able to get in touch with him.
I want to go out with the LT. I don't want to play no golf.
Hey,
Yeah, that's true.
hey, yo, yeah. So one time we was golfing in Sarasota, and LT say it was like maybe 8 of us. Y'all want to go down to Tampa? We like, hell no, LT, ain't nobody hanging out with you. He said, I got a good lawyer on speed dial. I'm like, that's not making me feel real confident.
This man.
That's his
Leroy,
safety net.
Are you someone who drinks while you're playing golf, or are you like just so focused on the game you're not interested? Because I know a lot of people go out and they want to drink, but you're not that guy.
I'm not a big drinker anyway.
Yeah, me neither.
But I tell you what, don't mix sun and liquor.
Yeah, man, you weren't kidding.
Tell it. And I think it hit black people worse too. I think
Yeah.
all my white friends is walking straight. I'm like,
Hey.
did you slip me something?
Hey,
I can't feel my toes.
hey, you know what's amazing? Soon as I tee off on the weekends at 7 in the morning, right? I tee off at 7 in the morning. And I get out my car and I'm beating up. And I see my friends and they ain't even like, they say, ooh, it's going to be cool this morning. I'm like, what you talking about? I'm hot as hell. It's hot.
You just wiping your forehead, just
Beating up at
Yeah,
7
I gotta have a towel for my clubs, a towel to keep my grips dry, and a pat down towel.
Yeah.
You know that pat down towel.
I need a church fan too.
Hey, when you see the guys go up in the club and they got the little pat down towel, they dance. They pat it.
Boy.
Hey, Leroy, you know we're doing our fantasy draft today at 2. Are you ready?
Are we?
I guess he answered that.
Oh my God! Are you going to be
glad-
Are you available? You said you were
Yeah.
available Wednesday at 2.
Yeah. Yeah, but it wasn't. Hey man, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah.
This is my biggest gripe about chain emails and chain texts and all
Chain
that.
food. Go ahead. Yeah.
Somebody will send out a message.
Yeah.
So, example, the message say, hey, we're going to do this at X amount of time. And then somebody will chime in. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay with me. There was never a set time, right?
Yes, there was.
Nobody put 2 o'clock on the thing. And then, but we never get the confirmation.
I told Mikey
I'm
to
not
text
going
you.
through all the emails to see who said
Wait a
that's
second.
good.
I told Mikey to text you and make sure you were good to go for 2 p.m. Wednesday. You saying he didn't text you?
No, it didn't go through.
Mikey, did you
That's a
text
fact.
me?
Oh,
wait a minute.
Wow.
The dog ate my
Let's be
homework.
clear, that's on me. That's on me.
By the way,
And,
Leroy,
Thank you.
I've been
Thank
saying
you.
for a week to text you and make sure you were good to go.
Wow.
Listen, hey, hold up. Just a little defense here.
Yeah.
We've had Leroy. He recorded a promo video for us this week, so I didn't want to bombard. Listen, I try not to bombard our guests. Leroy came through with the promo video.
Oh, nice.
He was on the show today. We were going to record the promo video on the show if you didn't send it to us yesterday, Leroy.
Yeah.
So
Oh
kudos
no,
and thank you for that.
my IT guy, my IT guy,
got an
my
IT guy.
videographer. Yeah,
Who's your IT guy? Your neighbor?
my son. My son. That's what he goes.
Even better.
He goes. He's going to film school.
Nice.
So
Oh, nice.
so all the stuff that I need to do,
What college
if
is he
I
going
can get
to?
him up, huh?
What college?
He wants to go to either go to Full Sail or Vancouver School of Film. He's getting ready to graduate.
Let me
in a couple
let me quickly
semesters.
give an endorsement for Full Sail. That's Dan Patrick's thing. I've got a ton of friends that are involved in that. I know their track record at putting guys into the business. Leroy, get him to Full Sail. Get him to Full Sail. And let's talk offline about that because I know the guy that runs the program. He was my producer for years at ESPN. He's not going to get a better hands-on and have more access to big-name people that will come in to help them than he will at Full Sail. I promise you that. It's a great place.
Good luck.
Or I've been on him so much he want to go live in Vancouver.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he might bring it away.
Where is Full Sail?
It's in Orlando, I think, right?
It's in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's far enough away from you, but close enough.
Well, he
too.
went. Keep in mind, his first 2 years he went to Bethune.
Okay.
Okay.
So he went to Bethune. He was in the band and he did that. And then
Full Sail's the way.
but and you know how if you have kids, they think you don't know nothing and you ain't as cool as them. So I said, man, I'm from New Orleans. That's all we did growing up was music.
Right.
I said, you know what? Forget this. So I call up my boy. I say, when you coming to town? I say, I'm gonna bring my son. All right. So we go and one of the things is my math teacher in high school is a professor at Northwestern now. And they tour every Christmas, him and Wynton Marsalis.
Oh, you know.
So
I love
I
how
know
he
Wynton
just dropped
Marsalis
the-
because
Whoa! Wynton. And
I
I'm
was
like,
gonna
he's
say
talking about Wynton Marsalis.
This dude, like, okay.
but here's the backstory.
He's not playing.
My grandfather played in a band with his father.
Oh my goodness.
So I've known him my whole life. So I call him because he used to always call me and say, hey, I'm down in Miami. You come and see me. I say, no, I'll get you next time. So finally, my son, he think I'm in the music. You don't know what you're talking about. I say, all right, man, come on. So we go backstage and we talking to all the guys and all the guys say, hey, if you need some help, you can come see us or whatever. He's like, how do you know these people? I say, man, I'm from New Orleans. That's what we do.
Come on now.
So
Kids don't
like,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
That was a nice.
I say,
that was
y'all
a nice
don't know
flex.
about Percy. Y'all don't know about Percy. Y'all know him as Master P. We know him as Percy.
I thought you were talking about Percy Harvin.
No.
By the way, I saw Wynton Marsalis in concert in Manhattan once.
incredible.
He was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
He was great.
And Leroy drops it like, yeah, I'm kicking it with my boy
guy.
Wynton.
Well, I was like, I thought he said Quentin at first. I said,
No, I thought I heard Wynton, but I'm like, he's not talking about Wynton Marsalis, is he?
and then in my head, I said, DK be talking about him.
That's what I
Leroy
was
know
saying.
him?
And then I thought maybe it was Wynton Bernard of the Colorado Rockies. I don't know what's happening.
Leroy,
Nah.
Leroy,
What's up?
you seen the latest trash talking with the Browns and Baker Mayfield and the Browns? You see they downplaying it. Are you buying that, or you think that's on Sunday it's gonna be some problems? It's gonna be a
You know what I say?
misunderstanding.
You know what I say about trash talk? Trash talk don't mean nothing when you got to look at that beast across from you on Sunday. Because guess what? Baker Mayfield can't hit Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett could hit him. So who gonna bleep who up? Only thing Baker do is throw a football at him. Right?
Yeah.
But so as a running back, I know when I played, I wasn't talking trash to nobody. because it only take one time for somebody to give you a little extra, and then you banged up for the game. So I'm like, hey, whatever, all the trash everybody want to talk, all the nonsense everybody want to say, right? It don't matter, because on Sunday you're gonna be lined up across from that guy. So I appreciate Baker. Baker is being Baker. Baker's always been that guy. Why is anybody shocked?
Nobody
And
is.
anybody for the Browns, and the Browns, they saying that's Baker being Baker.
Yep.
But guess what? I know the horses that are on that defense don't need to be inspired. And you opening your mouth, giving them a little bit extra to come get you, I mean, I just think that's not very good on his part.
What do you think?
But
what
that's
do you
who
think
he
about how
is.
it came out, though, Leroy? I'm sure you heard the story. We had the reporter on yesterday, Cynthia Freeland. She basically said to him, "Go and F them up," and he replied, "I'm gonna F them up." I mean, he was basically co-signing what she threw out there, and then she inadvertently or whatever, I think she knows it's a mistake now. She apologized on our show yesterday. She went on the podcast and told the story like there was nothing wrong with it.
Here's the problem, and I've always had this problem with the media, is that you want your information out there so bad that you don't care if you damage a relationship with a player. And there's certain people that aren't like that. Certain people, I've had conversations with people in the media, and I could have a candid conversation about what I was feeling, and they knew that was between us.
Right.
And I knew I never had to hear about it again. But what was more important in that situation was what Baker had to say. Not the fact that she commented in a way to kind of get him to kind of co-sign something that he never would have said himself. Because guess what? At the end of the day, we're going to look at it and say, yeah, that's what Baker does. We're fine with that. That's Baker being Baker. He's
I think we'd be
always been that
surprised if he
aggressive.
didn't say anything.
Right, exactly. So, it's when athletes are standoffish towards the media, then the media gets upset. But in situations like this, where now guys are like, I ain't gonna say nothing, right? So if you want to have
but
that,
wait a second, Leroy. We have the right not to want to be lumped together when somebody makes a mistake. When a player makes a mistake, are other players blamed for it? If Deshaun Watson does something stupid, I'm not blaming Nick Chubb for it.
Whoa. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Anytime the team loses, who do you blame?
When the team loses, who do I blame?
Well, the quarterback
I
gets
guess
the
it
bulk
depends
of
on
it.
the situation, but usually the coach and
No,
the quarterback.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
Who?
You blame the quarterback.
Yeah, he's
Well,
right.
I don't
we always go to the
blame
quarterback.
I don't personally,
Yes,
but
you
a lot
do.
of people do.
You
No, I
always
don't.
go to the quarterback.
No.
Most people
a
always
lot
go
of
to the
people
quarterback.
do. A lot of
Because
people
at the
do.
end of the day,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when you look at the Browns and when Baker was with the Browns, you know what you say? He wasn't good enough. He
Right.
didn't make enough big plays.
Leroy,
You don't look at
I'll
the
help
whole
you make
team.
Your point. I'll help you make your point. When was the last time you saw next to any player but a quarterback a one-loss record?
Never.
But my
You don't
point,
see that with a
that's
running
wait a
back.
second. That
That's
has
crazy.
nothing to do with my point.
That's crazy.
Cynthia Freeland is not our quarterback, right? So if Cynthia Freeland makes a mistake and she already apologized for it, it's not that big a deal, I don't think. Why should I be held accountable for it? Just like if Deshaun Watson does something stupid, I wouldn't blame Nick Chubb for it. I'm not going to hold that against Nick Chubb.
But again, you have to look at the overall view of how some players view the media. Okay, if you get asked a question and you get put in a spot like that, now you're standoffish for any question asked of you, and it's very normal behavior. But when players don't talk, when players aren't open, people get upset at them. And I would say, that's a two-way street. That's a two-way street. If you want the open discussion, if you want honest opinions, then don't twist them. Don't because Cynthia could have. She said she made a mistake, and that's fine. And for me, I don't care. Right? It doesn't. That stuff doesn't.
She
bother
wasn't trying to hurt Baker. She didn't realize that.
No, not at all.
But again, she left the most important part of that out.
She did. You're right, Leroy.
And how people would view what Baker Mayfield said would change if they had that first part of it.
And Leroy, that is absolutely spot on what you just said. That's why I said when she was on yesterday, I'm like, that changes the whole bones of that story.
I get that, but on the other hand, Leroy, I could say 99 things about a player that are positive, and I never get, thanks for saying that's something positive about me. But I say one thing negative, and I'm an ass.
But let me give you this.
That's true.
Let me give you this.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, the media is guests.
But media doesn't get treated like guests. They get treated like crap.
No. It is a courtesy that the media has an opportunity to be in the sphere, because the product is the players. The product, the legacy, all that is the players, right? That's why they hold it so dearly. And when you are a guest, it's just like going to somebody's house. Some people say take your shoes off, right?
Yeah.
But if you take your shoes off and you're angry about taking your shoes off because you don't understand why you got to take your shoes off, then it defeats the purpose of you saying you're a guest.
But see, that's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying that if a reporter makes a mistake, why should I be held accountable? That's not fair.
But it's the industry.
Yeah, that's
Bo, it's the same reason that if there's a bad cop, sometimes unfairly, they're all painted as bad. That's not fair. But
that's not fair either.
It's not fair.
But
You're
that's
absolutely
how
right.
it
But
is.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
human nature is all four of us, and Leroy, now even you, whether we like it or not, we are going to be
But
lumped
part of
into
the reason,
media.
Part of the reason, and it's not as much anymore.
You do, bro.
Part of the reason athletes make as much money as they do is because of how much they're covered by the media.
That's correct.
You're right, and it is an obligation, as Leroy will tell you.
Absolutely.
But
Get out of here with that.
If media went away and the games were just broadcast and they never did interviews, this would still be the hugest industry in
At this
sports.
point, because it's been built up.
Go ahead, Leroy.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Ain't no media member ever made me an extra $1. The hell out of here with that.
Talk your
What
talk.
you talking about? Like, what
Leroy.
are you taking credit for? Listen, we all have jobs to do. Okay? And we all, as players, have an opportunity to get our message out there.
Right.
Okay? But when you watch an interview, sometimes it seems like the person asking the question has an agenda.
A lot of times.
Right?
A lot of times.
Like they don't
90%.
want
Not 90, but a lot.
Hyperbole.
Hey, they don't want your perspective on things. They want to hear you say something. So they get and ask the question accordingly. And so from that standpoint, don't sit here and say, oh, it's not everybody. Everybody in that room, when they're asking questions, has an agenda.
Not everybody, Leroy, but
Okay.
many.
That's not fair.
But
Not
that's
everybody.
Most of them.
I don't think so. I
Because
don't
guess
agree with
what?
most.
I don't know about
Because
most,
guess
because
what?
most would be
You
51%.
don't get your name in lights. You don't get your name in lights unless you the guy who get the athlete to say
Facts.
something
Now,
spicy.
Facts.
Leroy, to that point, what Leroy, you just touched on something that is the evolution of media. In the old days, you didn't have the opportunity to post your own question and get clicks. What he just touched on there now, unfortunately now, media, and I'm not talking about just sports media, I'm talking about news media. They want to do exactly what he just said. They want their question and the answer of their subject to go viral. And so many of them, and I don't know if it's most, I know it's not all, most would be 51%. I know there are many in the media that come in with razors and they're going to ask loaded questions hoping they get the interview subject to go off, and then there's going to be clicks, and then they're going to make their own name.
And there's also plenty of media
and
members.
I hate that about the media.
There's also plenty of media members that all they do is kiss the players and coaches' ass and never ask anything tough.
Here,
You're right.
Here, Bull, can I tell you this?
Yeah.
That when you come into the league, you're in the league as a football player.
Right.
You're not in the league as a media relations person.
True, but
And
part of your job is
the one thing that I've always hated about dealing with the media, and I've never said anything stupid. All the relationships that I had with the media was awesome. Okay? But one of the problems that I always had is that you have a 3-hour football game in 20 minutes to come in and figure out what question you're going to ask. I have 10 minutes after a game that I'm still thinking about whether we won, I'm excited, whether we lost, what went wrong, how did it go wrong, what happened. And I'm required to answer questions to what happened. Now I'm going to ask you this. Who has the most time and the training to be better prepared for that situation?
Yeah, I've always thought, obviously the media, I've always thought there should be more time for the players to cool off after a game before they talk to the media. I think it's handled.
Just imagine.
Yeah.
You have a tough day at work.
Yep.
You done said something crazy and you wondering if that heat gonna come down on you.
Yeah.
Right? You go in your house, you thinking about it, you take a shower, you're like, oh my goodness, what did I do? What did I do? And you come out of your shower and I'm sitting on the edge of your bed asking you questions about what the hell just happened.
That's well said.
If I were getting paid that much money and that was part of my job, I'd do it. I would do it.
I'm getting paid to, hey, make no mistake about it.
Yes.
I'm getting paid to play football.
Agreed.
I'm not getting
And I
paid
respect
to answer
that,
your
Leroy.
questions.
No, I agreed. But part of your job, part of my job is to promote the show. It's not just being on the show. There's other things I got to do. Part of your job as a football player is talking to the media. That is part of your job.
Hey, if I ran for 2,000 yards, would anybody give a damn whether I talk to the media?
Nope.
No, but that's the thing. But hold on. But Leroy, so I'm not a beat reporter. I'm not in locker rooms on any kind of regular basis. But I've interviewed a ton of players over the years in person and on TV, on the radio. Tons of players. Okay, I have never broken a confidence. I've had a number of players say stuff to me off the air that could have gotten them kicked out of the freaking league. And I never said it, and I never would, because I respect that. Even if it was a guy I didn't like. Trevor Bauer, who was here, he never said anything to me that could have got him in trouble because we never talked. But that guy crapped all over me on Twitter and whatever. We went at it, and that's fine because I said one bad thing about him after I was the only one in this freaking town who knew he was any good when he got here. But he never said anything about that. But the one time I criticized him for a comment he made, he went bananas. So
you want me to tell you how you squashed that?
I tried to.
I remember after.
I tried to.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you why I've always had a good relationship with the media. We were 3-13. It was ugly. Mm-hmm. Boys, let me tell you. As far as sports goes, it was a dumpster fire, right? Mm-hmm. And one time after a game, somebody asked me, "Did you hear the fans booing you?" And you know what I replied? And this killed everything that would come after that. I'd boo my ass too.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you automatically snuffed out their fuse because they wanted you to come at the fans, so they had a headline.
Right.
But did they all?
Right.
I don't believe that it's always coming from a bad place, is what I'm saying.
I'm always okay with being held accountable. I'm a stand-up dude. I can account for my own actions.
Yeah.
So anytime I was asked about my actions, I responded and I was upfront or whatever. But guess what? That means that when you come into a room and you talk to me, I'm going to hold you accountable too.
Absolutely.
So
fair.
if you ask me a stupid question, you're supposed to be college educated. This is supposed to be your profession. If you come at me with a stupid question, I'm going to tell you your question's stupid.
Good. You should. If you're right.
You see what I'm saying?
And if you're right, I'll defend you. And if I think you're wrong, I'll say, Leroy's lost. That wasn't
I think when you look at it, there's a reason why the top players, LeBron James, Odell Beckham Jr.'s, they don't do local interviews. And a lot of people are pissed about that. Why wouldn't he give us an interview? The reason they don't give you an interview is because nothing you say is going to make or break them. Anything. Anything you give them has no bearing on whether they're going to play good, if they're going to get endorsements, if anything.
Well, they don't have to.
And
Well,
they don't
have to post game, and they do post game
post
local.
one-on-one.
But
I
they're
did a
not
one-on-
going to do a
but
preview interview with a sit down with a local guy.
Well, I did a one-on-one when Odell first came here. I did a one-on-one, and you know what? Maybe he doesn't care. I don't know. But I sat with him, and we talked off the air for 10 minutes.
Well, was that the
and it was
breakouts
great.
after he signed?
No.
Or, I mean, after they brought him in?
No, this was he was at his football camp, and I spoke to, I didn't, my producer spoke to his PR person or whoever, and can I sit down one-on-one with Odell? They were like, yeah, you got 5 minutes. But he and I chatted off the air for like 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
And there were things, like I didn't know Odell personally. I don't know him that well after 10, 15 minutes. But I had such a great experience with him. And I liked Odell coming in. Like, I'm not one of these people that's killed Odell. He gets, to me, some of the criticism, but I haven't really killed him generally. But I had such a great experience with him, and we talked about some real deep stuff, like that I obviously wouldn't share. But I was like, wow, this is really like thoughtful and interesting. And I liked him even more after interviewing him. So maybe he doesn't care that I liked him, or he probably doesn't. But to me, it was a positive for him because somebody in the media liked him more.
Leroy will tell you, Tyvis will tell you.
Yeah.
And the media relations people, this is where they're critical. When a player comes to town, so Leroy, when you went to Minnesota, when you came here to Cleveland, I'm sure the PR guys put their arms around you and said, okay, here are the players. Here's who you need to know. Casey Coleman is the sports director at Channel 8. He's also the play-by-play voice of the Cleveland Browns. This is a guy you need to build a relationship with. Here is Livingston from the Plain Dealer. Here is Jim Donovan from Channel 3. But you were definitely in that sphere of influence in media people, and here's why. Your drive time radio on the #1 station in town. You have a lot to do with shaping public opinion on a player, or, as you told us yesterday, in the case of Pat Shurmur, on a coach. So, Leroy, the smart players, and you were one of them, understand going in that these are people that I need to know and I need to build relationships with, and the other ones kind of fall through the cracks and become what you said, like the local guys that can't move my meter one way or another.
Why would I talk to him?
Yeah,
Why would I waste my time?
Well, LeBron generally is good with the media. He doesn't.
LeBron's great with the media.
But LeBron is great with the media.
He is great with the media.
Yeah.
I would also say this is that, I think players should be advised that what you get out of the media is what you put into the media.
Are they told that at the rookie symposium these days? Do you know?
No, I don't know, because you know what? With Twitter and social media, you can kind of get your message out there without the media.
Yeah, you don't need the media anymore.
That is true.
But I will say this to any player that kind of hears this and think that I'm negative about the media. I'm not. I'm really not. I think that it's a room full of people that you see every week, daily. And I think you need to have some kind of relationship with them. And there's always the reporter that's always negative. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. It didn't bother me because my job was to play football. And for me to have to, it almost becomes counterproductive to try to go into every interview and defend yourself. And what ends up happening is, and this happens with certain positions, okay? It always happens with wide receivers. And you want to know why? Because the media goes to the wide receiver and determine how good his game was based on how many catches he had.
Yeah.
Even if you won.
Right.
Even if you won the football game.
Yeah.
So, as a player who knows the real deal, you can do one or two things. You can just, hey, well, we won. That's the most important thing. My day will come or whatever. And then the media replies, well, you're getting paid all this money to be the #1. You don't even have the most catches on your team.
Right.
Right? So then the player goes into defense mode simply because the most important thing to you is not the win. So how can I get that message across? Because look, Odell Beckham is not the first time Cleveland has experienced that. You experienced it with Andre Rison. Andre Rison came from Atlanta, had 100 catches, 100 plus catches, and then came to Cleveland and only had like 75, 80. But guess what? To us, that was 100 catches. But the media didn't see it like that. He was a different person. And so what ends up happening is he bit back.
Yeah.
He would get angry. And the great thing about sports, and Tyvis could tell you this, we come from all different backgrounds, all different upbringings. One of the reasons why nobody could say anything to break me is because I'm from the Ninth Ward of New Orleans. There ain't nothing nobody in this world could do to me that's going to break me.
Facts.
Nothing. So from that standpoint, where I came from, it wasn't a place where when I went through my football career, I was praised and I was this. I wasn't even like the main guy at Michigan. They wanted Tony Bowles and Jamie Morris and Allen Jefferson and Jared Bunch. I just ended up being the last one standing. That's how I got my opportunity. So from that standpoint, when guys get to where they feel that they have to defend what they do on a football field, that's when it goes sideways.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes you get backed up into that corner when if a reporter wants to know, okay, hey, say for example with Odell, Baker missed a couple of wide open passes, huh? What the hell kind of response you think you're going to get?
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
These are competitive guys that are used to winning, and they're not going to back down. They're not going to back down.
Exactly. And then you go back to Baker and say, Odell said, you missed a couple of passes. So, hey, you got to, as a player, you got to know what the agenda is. And I'm not saying everybody, but you got to know when it's coming. And you got to be ready for it. I used to laugh. I'm like, I said to one reporter one time, I said, I went to college too. Right? You think you gonna get me? And like, so look, and understand that the relationship I had with the media was this. I didn't care about getting criticized. Football is the most negative reinforced sport in the world.
He's right.
I don't care how good you play. On Monday, you get yelled at about something.
That's a fact.
I don't care what level of football. Somebody's screaming at you about something.
It's something you did.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had a perfect game. It's something you
Leroy, that's a great point to end it on. We got to run. I wanted to, before we go,
Thanks, Leroy.
Reach out to the NFLPA and tell them you want to be part of their annual rookie symposium.
Yes.
I know, Tyvis, you probably went through it.
I did.
And you are media now.
You are media, but I think, listen, Leroy, you've got a lot to offer to young players that don't know how to navigate all those landmines.
No doubt.
Reach out to the NFLPA. You should be a huge part of the media's, the symposium, the rookie symposium, and the media aspect of that because it's valuable and you've got a lot to offer. So,
Will you be there at 2 for the fantasy league?
Yeah.
Are you going to be there?
Will there be snacks?
Well, I mean, you can't.
not virtually.
There are going to be snacks if you want to take a quick private jet.
Hey, y'all looking at the champ. So yeah, I'm gonna be there at 2.
It's like 9 of them
Y'all
in
looking
this
at the
league.
champ.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
That's it. I'm going to have to school you up.
Leroy, we love you. We'll see you next week,
See you,
man.
Leroy.
All
Next
right,
week
man.
is game week.
Later.
Wear something orange. Next week is game week. Wear something orange. All right, the great Leroy Hoard. I'm serious. That symposium is invaluable.
Yeah, it
I know a
is.
lot of guys kind of doze off in it,
you
and I
do.
wish they wouldn't.
You do.
There's
But
invaluable information that's being thrown around in there, and part of it is how you deal with the media.
Yeah, you gotta.
And social media,
It's
for
a
sure.
social media.
It's
more
some
important.
nuggets in there. It's just all about how they present it to you. If you're a good speaker, you could present it to them. You could get their attention. But you gotta.
bad
You never
speakers.
did the NFL boot camp, did you? If you did, I don't remember you coming through.
Are you talking about
the NFLPA gives players the opportunity to go through the NFL boot camp, the NFL
I didn't
Network
do
and
that.
ESPN.
No, I didn't. But speaking of that, I need to do the broadcasting one
Yes,
sometime.
look into that.
Yeah.
So they kind of stopped it because of COVID,
Yeah.
but I was involved with
They
that.
brought it back last year. I
Listen,
think.
it is invaluable for you guys. I
Yeah,
work
I
with
need
a
to- I
lot
need
of
to go,
guys
man.
who
Dustin
are
did it.
drawing paychecks right now.
Yeah.
Because it's very intensive boot camp. It's 1 week. They give you play-by-play or color experience. They have you do a podcast. They have you do a sports cast. They have you do
Sound like the
sideline
Big
interviews.
Ten Network.
It's very good. No,
Yeah.
it's even more in depth. They've got a lot of guys.
They told me actually
And
got
you make
the
all
big,
those connections,
the
too.
guy
Yes,
at the Big Ten
invaluable
told me that
connections.
I should look into doing
Denton
it.
Maxwell is the guy that runs it. He's a longtime communications president at the NFL. He's retired now, but he runs the boot camp. Get his name from the NFLPA. Reach out to him, and I would strongly encourage you to go through it.
Yeah.
Because you've got a nice career going.
Yeah.
You can really network, meet a lot
Yeah.
of executives, and take it to the next level.
Dustin did it. He had a
Yeah,
was a great
it's
experience.
invaluable.
Yeah.
It really is. I've a lot of guys that in my years involved with it, a lot of guys that came through it are very successful, drawing nice paychecks today, and most of them credit, in large part, what they were able to learn, how to harness their skill
Yeah.
to communicate, how to kind of hone it down and do whatever it is that they're doing now. McNuggets, you've got some business to take care of.
We do have some business to take care of, and we have a game to play.
Yes.
And the answers to this game came from the internet. And as always, when the internet talks to us, it's brought to us by our favorites at PCC Airfoils. Looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits? PCC Airfoils is a leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Mentor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions starting at $18 and up, plus full benefit packages, paid time off, and a signing bonus. Apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more.
Physical. I want to get physical with PCC Airfoils.
Wow, that's kind of creepy.
Wait a minute, they
You
get
gotta get
paid
physical with
time
them.
off?
Bro, pause.
PTO.
They get paid time off?
What was that when I was coming up?
I swear.
I would have took that job last year.
I wouldn't.
Talk about play with me.
All right, here we go. Let's get serious.
As long as
now.
you're not working there next year, we're good.
Right.
So we started this 2 weeks ago after Nick Harris went down. We wanted to get to know Ethan Pocic. And people seemed to like it. So we tried it again last week, see if it was a one-hit wonder with Jacoby Brissett. It worked out great. So, Steve, we're going to play true or false, not tag board. True or false for the third week in a row. Tyvis is our reigning champ. Bull won the first one. G and J, it's time for you guys to get on board.
I wasn't here.
I was only here for one. And
I
so-
wasn't here.
Yeah, so.
Look at this.
I wasn't here.
Look at
Excuses,
this.
excuses.
I swear.
They getting kind of happy over here, bro.
All right,
These
here we
dudes
go.
Counting.
Today's player is Amari Cooper, the Browns' new number
Oh,
one
we
receiver.
should know him.
You think so?
Yeah, okay.
We're going to find
They
out.
probably have obscure information
Yeah, I
about him.
know.
Earl spent a lot of time on Monday finding these.
Uh-oh.
This
All right,
is an
Earl.
Earl special. So let's take the first one here. True or false?
Lord.
Amari Cooper is an avid chess player.
True. I'm going to say true because he just seemed like the type of guy to do something like that.
I'll go true also.
I want to win this thing, and I'm not going to win it if I'm tying with these guys, so I'm saying false.
I'm gonna go with false too. Just because he quiet don't mean he play chess.
He's quiet and he loves chess. Big time chess player.
Yeah, that's why y'all can't win.
I just don't want to answer what you guys do because I want to beat you.
All right, well, now you guys got to go
Two-time-
first this
the
time.
two winners start off hot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to number 2 here. True or false? Amari Cooper prefers movies over books.
Well, if he likes chess, then my guess is he likes to read. Because most of the people I know that play chess like to read. I hate to play chess, and I love movies, so I'm saying that he's definitely a reader.
Man, I'm not gonna go with this. Listen, you're gonna hit me with these two. That's cliche-ish. I watch books. No, I'm gonna go with movies over books. False. False.
So we got a true and a false?
Oh, we got 2 falses. Jay
Yeah,
said
I'm
false
saying
too.
I'm saying he likes books.
False.
Oh, I'm going to say true then.
I'm with Tyvis. I'm someone who likes to play chess. I like books, but I like movies more. So I think Amari's like me.
Damn, we're gonna be 0-2 here.
And we are all tied up at 1.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, Bush.
Amari Cooper started his own book club. That's how big of a
Wow.
Fun
Really?
fact, Amari
Love
Cooper
it.
started his own book club.
Let's
Is it a
go.
little disturbing that 2 of our best players, Amari Cooper and Myles Garrett, are big dorks?
No, I'm
mean,
okay with that. Keep
all
him
right.
out of the club.
Okay. Good point. Good point.
And through 2, we are all tied
Book
up
club over
at
club.
1-1.
Club.
That's true.
Anytime.
Fair. Okay.
Here we
Number
go.
3. Amari Cooper's current girlfriend is the daughter of hip-hop legend Nas.
Oh, I'm saying false on that.
I have no idea. I'm gonna say false too because I feel like I would.
I feel like if he starts a book club and he likes book and he likes chess, he's probably dating like an old jazz singer's
No,
girlfriend.
but hip hop people are intellectual though. So
Yes, they are. And I'm guessing that she was raised with
Money.
a high value of class. She's got taste. Because,
So you saying true.
Daddy's got money. So I'm going to say true.
Or those people that's raised like that want the people that's not like that.
Yeah, you make a point.
He's locked in on a true.
You're right.
What did you say,
I am
Tyvis?
locked in on true.
I said false.
said false.
Nas's baby's mom's name is Carmen, who
Wow.
by the way, had an affair with Jay-Z while she was pregnant with Nas's kid. I'm gonna go with.
How does that weigh into what you're going to say?
I'm about to say.
I'm trying to see if because
nothing to do with
we're
it.
gonna see. I just throwing it out
He's
there.
just flexing his Nas now.
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna go with false. They don't go together.
It is false. Yes! Her name is the same name as Nas's daughter.
Thank God.
Earl trying to mess with us on that one.
I
So
see
I'm
that.
1 and 2, and you got? Did you guys?
We're 2 and 1. Yeah,
2
yeah.
and 1. You guys
2
are
and 1.
Jay's in last. But hey, you're only a game back, Jay. There's plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Now I got to answer different.
See that calm demeanor? Right back on your heels.
Here we go.
You had the
Let's
right
take-
thing. It's just you got to remember that the people that's here, women, typically want the dude that's down here.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point you made.
All right, number 4. True or false? Amari Cooper is a big-time watch collector.
True.
I'm gonna go with true on that. I seen his neck at a boxing match. His neck and wrist was outstanding. I'm an avid watch collector. I saw Amari Cooper at a watch collection myself. We exchanged notes. I'm gonna go with true.
Wow, I have to go true then.
I got to buck the trend. I'm going false.
And both, you went against your gut. It is true.
Yeah, baby.
Join me at 2 and 2.
For Jay, 2 and 2 for 3 and 1 for Tyvis.
See, you know what?
I should have known.
I was going to say false, but my man's dropping.
I know.
I saw him at a boxing match, and his wrist was flying.
I know.
Did you really see him?
I seen him at a
opposite.
I really saw him.
I didn't think he was like a big jewelry wearer, but people that's not big jewelry
2 and 2,
wearers
Bull.
usually do
2 and
watch
2.
it.
Just
Yeah,
because
we're
he's
the
quiet,
2 and 2 club.
his jewelry game is loud.
This next one's a good one. True or false? Amari Cooper's high school quarterback was Teddy Bridgewater.
I feel like I should know that.
Tyvis, this is very on you here.
Well, I'm not going to answer first because I don't know the answer.
I'm going to say.
Wait a minute.
Does Teddy have 2 D's or 1
where
D?
is
I thought he spelled it T-E-D-Y.
Where is Amari Cooper from?
I
can't
can't
ask
tell
that.
us that.
I think he's from
gonna-
Florida.
I think he's from Florida, too.
I'm going to say true.
I'm gonna say false. I'm gonna say false. Because I would have heard that by now.
I'm going to say false, too. I think I would have heard it, too.
Well, I'm going to say false to let Bull get a chance, you know, just in case.
Don't give Bull a sliver of hope because
Yeah.
Bull's right.
Yeah! We should have put our foot on his throat.
And Bull's right back in the game. 3 and 2
Is it?
across the
I
board.
swear he's
No, I'm 2 and 3.
Here
Well,
was my.
besides
You guys are 3 and 2.
Yeah.
Here's why I thought it was true. Even though for a moment I was like, we would have heard that by now.
We would have heard that
But
by
then
now.
I got inside Earl's head and I said, if Earl was making that up, I think he would have picked a better quarterback.
Yeah, like
That's
something
what I
like
was
Cam
thinking.
Newton or something.
Right, like somebody, a little better than Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater at this point is pretty obscure.
Which is why you can see that it was true.
Right,
If
that's
it
why I
was a
thought it was
great
true.
quarterback, we would have heard it.
Right. Not great, but somebody in between
Better.
great and Bridgewater.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
I love
Overanalyzing.
Earl's
Go
on
ahead.
30-second delay listening, so he's going to laugh in about
Oh, yeah.
3 seconds when you hear him laugh. Okay, true or false here? Amari Cooper is the first rookie in Raiders franchise history to record
damn.
1,000 receiving yards.
Man, I would think they would have had others too, not just Tim Brown. Way back, Freddie Bolitnikoff was a baller.
Yeah.
false. I'm going to say false.
But then was they throwing the ball like that?
But
Yeah, you know, listen. Kenny Stabler would sling it now. Kenny was throwing it.
Yeah.
You would think that but you know what? Why are they asking this question?
Yeah, right.
I like the psychoanalysis.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
back
it's
here now.
become.
It's not true or false. It's how
I'm
people
saying
feel you.
I'm saying true.
I'm gonna say true too. I think it's true.
And you went true?
I don't know no more.
He went false. He said
Hold on,
false.
wait a minute. I'm not locked in here.
God.
Jay's talking me out of it.
See, I'm getting backed into going away from you guys because I'm one down.
I know.
Whatever Jay said.
But we don't know. We're all
Whatever
just guessing.
I'm doing
Time is
the opposite.
ticking, guys. You
I'm
gotta make a
doing whatever
pick.
the
You guys
opposite
went
of Jay.
true?
I think Tyvis is locked in.
You guys went true, right? G.
We
Bush?
went
false?
true. Yeah.
True.
I'm going false. Damn it.
Wait a minute.
I know it's.
Let's see the reveal, Steve.
Why?
It's true.
I didn't want
It's
to be
true.
with him.
Come swim in my boat.
I wanted to
Because
go.
we're taking on water.
As soon as he said false, I wanted to go.
My analysis of that was kind of what you said about asking the question. It's like that had to be something Earl saw,
Yeah.
and so
He didn't make that up.
and it seems
But I
untrue.
had to go false because I'm not going to catch you guys if I answer the
There's
same
two
as
more
you.
questions right now. G. Bush and Bull are tied.
Wait, there's two more?
Two more.
What
So
am I down? 1 or 2?
you're down 1. Jay's down 2.
Yeah,
so
rub it
Jay
in.
can come back. All right.
I shouldn't have listened. I knew it.
True or false? Amari Cooper was a top 10 national recruit coming out of high school. He went to
That's false.
Alabama.
That's false. False. 100%.
Yeah, wow. Wait a minute. He's from Florida, correct?
So he from Florida.
When did you leave Florida?
But he went to Alabama and started his freshman year.
he did do that.
That
So
is true.
how
Top
often?
10 recruit,
How
guys.
often-
But how many times does top 10 recruit
Top
it be them
10.
3 stars that do stuff?
Jay's locked in. The other 3.
What year?
I'm saying true.
Well, who could have been a higher receiver than him?
No,
Wait,
not-
it's
it was top
nationally.
10.
Every position.
Every position. That's why I said false.
I think he came in at number 9.
I would say true.
I'm gonna say
I said
true.
true.
too. I'm gonna say true.
3 trues and 1 false.
Yeah.
And Jay.
That's what I'm talking about.
in the
That's
game.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just want to run from me.
Number 45 overall.
All right, last one.
45 overall.
Wait, last one. Jay and I are tied.
Jay
Just
was
one back.
too confident.
If I get this right,
You
And everyone else
tied.
gets
It's
it
a tie,
wrong.
yeah.
It's a tie.
Do we have a tiebreaker question?
How's that?
We'll have a tiebreaker at the end of the show. We'll
So
find
wait,
out.
he's tied with me though, right?
You guys are
I'm
tied.
tied with
Jay.
you. We're both one back.
Dang, I should have.
Come on, man. Damn it.
I tried to bring you along.
You did? Because you
Here's the
said it
last
so
one.
fast.
Yeah, last
Put
one.
the hands on the head.
Amari Cooper's high school nickname was the Footwork King.
I can see
That's
that.
false.
I can see that. Well, I gotta go true if
That's
I
false.
have a chance.
You know what? Who comes up with a nickname with all those syllables?
All of them.
Yo,
False.
come over here, the Footwork King.
False. That's too corny.
I ain't got nothing to lose. I gotta go true.
False. I think that's
That's
false.
the only
bro.
way I could get in it. So
He might be known as a route king or something.
I'm going true because
no, go far.
because it's such a bad nickname that I don't think Earl would have made it up.
I think a media member gave it to him. It wasn't a teammate, because no way a teammate would have come up with something
I
so
ain't got
corny.
no
It
chance,
is
so I
corny.
gotta go.
But you know how media in high school nicknames start from they saw it in the newspaper.
You
That's
tried.
right.
Some scribe wrote, "Oh, he is the Footwork King." True, lock it in.
So that means G. Bush was false. Everyone else was true.
No,
Yes.
no. Wait, what did I say?
You said true.
No, wait, I think you might have said false. Well, just tell us what
Okay.
you want.
So,
did
yeah,
you
tell
say?
us.
Hold on, before you reveal.
Oh, I did. Wait a minute. Wait a
We
His
said
minute.
nickname,
false.
the Footwork King.
We said true.
He can't even remember his name.
It doesn't
Okay, yeah,
matter
no.
because both said true. G said false. So one of those two will be the winner.
Right.
Let's see the reveal.
It doesn't matter, dude.
And we have a new king.
Oh, wow,
G.
G. G. Bush, get the belt. Get the belt. Take that
People's
belt.
champ is back. 3 weeks in, 3 different winners. We will continue this.
Man, I better
Jack
win
loves
next
to
week.
know.
If I don't win next week,
I should have listened to this. I listened. It's Jay's fault, man.
why? Did you follow
That
me?
was a great
Yeah,
question.
you followed me on that one, and I blew it.
That was a great question by
I was
Earl
in
because
it.
it seemed so bad that it had to be true to me.
Yeah, what was his nickname in high school?
We have no idea. It just wasn't that.
It wasn't the Footwork King.
Well, there is a Footwork King. He works out of Houston, trains a bunch of NFL
Yeah, I
players.
know who that
including-
is.
I know who that
Oh,
is.
yes. Wow.
His name's Rashad Whitfield. I had done a couple of stories with them, and then
So you came up with that
that
fake
actually that
nickname.
was my true or false.
All
one.
right,
I
good
got
job,
it.
Mikey.
I got it.
They
Well
were great
done.
questions.
So wait a minute.
No.
If you don't know his nickname, how do you know it's not the footwork?
There's
Oh,
only one Footwork King.
oh,
and
that's a
it's
good
not Amari
point.
Cooper.
That's a good point.
When I was in Dallas, I called him the footwork king.
Yes, we're right.
You know what? What's good about these games
Yeah.
is that's a player that we would have thought that
You
we're
knew
going to. And
things.
let's face it, we all guessed on every single one of them.
Right.
Mad
I don't
that
think
didn't go with
anybody
Jay on-
definitively knew any
None.
of those.
Not one of them.
Jay said, "Is he a top tier national?" Oh, that's false.
I was quick on that one.
I should have
You know
went
why?
with you.
You know why, Tyvis?
Because they don't appreciate receivers like that. He would
No,
never
they
be in
don't.
the top 10.
And we're talking now top 10 receiver. I'm sure
Yeah,
he was a
top 10
receiver,
easily.
He was a
But-
45th overall player.
Yeah,
Nationally?
I can see that,
No.
but not a top 10.
Hey, man.
It's always
job,
a
guys.
DN
Nice
or
job putting
something
that
like
together.
a
Well done,
quarterback.
We have a game tomorrow, by the way, we're going to play.
Oh, good.
It's called No Fence Riding.
Can we get a Built Bar? The
I thought we
winner
were doing
gets to
Ask the
try a
Show
Built Bar
tomorrow.
live on
You're
the
doing
show.
both.
We're doing no fence riding and ask the show
No
tomorrow.
Fence Riding is our Browns topic tomorrow.
Love it.
We're going to
Right.
ask the show.
Oh, I
We're also
got to
going to
see
get a
them.
bunch of questions. We're going to tape a little Labor Day show, which is just extended Ask the Show
Oh.
after.
We're doing that
If
tomorrow?
everyone can
Love
stay.
it,
Yeah,
love
for
it,
just
love
a few
it.
minutes, just a little something for Labor
Can I-
Day.
So
Can
wait, we're
call
taping a
in?
full show
Yeah.
after tomorrow's show?
A real quick little special. Just
Can
a
I
little-
call in
How many
after
minutes?
the show?
Because I
tomorrow?
have rehearsal for our 4 o'clock show right
like
after
20
this.
minutes.
20 minutes. Okay, I'll have to let
Yeah,
them
you're
know I'm
changing
going to
your
be late.
schedule. We'll talk, DJ. We'll figure it out.
All
Don't
right.
worry. We got 5 in. Jason's here tomorrow.
I want-
35 years in
I
this
want
business,
somebody
I'm
to
doing
ask
rehearsals.
me something. So can
Well,
I,
we
can I
got-
call
we'll
in?
Tyvis, we can zoom you in tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, or we could do the next time we do ask the show, do it with Tyvis on a Wednesday. So
The last time we tried to do a rehearsal show with a Zoom in, it didn't go well.
Didn't work, but this is a
here,
little
but I heard
different.
about
I heard
All
about
right, we
it.
got 10 minutes, guys.
all right, we're gonna do
Real
the show
quick,
early.
Guardians and final
Yeah.
takes, or we just want to do Guardians? Because the Guardians is.
I want to do Guardians.
Let's
just
do
blow
Guardians.
off final
Let's
takes
take
Does
today.
anybody have a real hot final take that they're
No,
dying
let's
to
blow
get
it off
to?
today since it's shorter.
Smack
That's a good
called
call.
me.
Tyvis, you're not here tomorrow. Do you have a final take that you have to do today?
I don't.
Okay,
Then
good.
let's talk little Guardians.
Let's
We'll
do
wrap it up.
Guardians because yesterday I thought starting a 6-game homestand.
Yeah.
They opened with the Orioles, who they've been up and down. They've been a lot like the Guardians
Yeah.
this year, but their record is right there with the Guardians.
Yeah.
They won 5-1. Great pitching performance. I think you said yesterday that you feel really comfortable now with Cal as the 3. I do
he
too.
showed you again.
I think here we are now into September, and you've got a really nice look at what the rotation's going to be in a playoff if they make the playoffs. You got
Yeah.
Bieber, you got McKenzie, and you got Cal. And
Yeah.
our bullpen has
And
been
then you keep your
lights
fingers crossed at
out.
4.
Our bullpen has been lights out.
Yes.
I don't even know that we go with 4.
I
don't.
would.
Because I'm taking Bieber on short rest over our 4th any
But
day.
if I hope to make a long run, eventually Bieber, who's had injury problems.
Yeah, you might need a 4th. But if
I just throw Plesac and hope for and get to the bullpen early in those games.
maybe a bullpen
It's a good
game.
problem to worry about if
like
we have to
Savali
worry
and
about
and
that.
with the Guardians' depth in the bullpen, you
Yeah.
could have a bullpen
Exactly.
game easily.
I don't-
Okay, so but
not
the
a
Twins
Savali
won,
fan?
and now the lead's a game and a half.
Game and a half. This life.
Yeah, but 2 in the loss column because the
Two in
Twins
the
have
loss,
played one
but-
more game.
right.
Here's the thing, guys. The Twins are playing good. They've
won 5 in a row.
They got 19 guys on the injured list. Do you believe
I
that?
know. It's unreal.
19 guys,
I know.
including Buxton, and a lot of good players.
And they've won 5
But here's the
straight.
thing. I would love for the Orioles to make the playoffs because I think they're the best matchup for the Guardians.
Yeah.
Because the Orioles are a scrappy team. They're a good offense, but their rotation is not very good.
No.
But anyway, I think they're going to end up playing the Mariners or the Blue Jays. We'll see. And by the way, if they play the Blue Jays, we're going to have to get into James Karinchak better get himself vaccinated.
Yeah,
Which
I
he's
know.
not going to do. But anyway.
Or by then Canada will
Yeah,
catch
but what
up
are the
with-
odds of that? It's only
Y'all real
a few weeks away.
Y'all real confident. Y'all talking playoffs. It's a game. It's
Well,
a game. and a
I'm
Yeah,
half.
you're
It's
not
only a
comfortable,
game.
are you, G. Bush?
The heck no, it was 4. Wasn't it 4
We
last
was
week?
4 last week, yeah.
It was.
We
but
lost
also,
to the
Also
Mariners.
take into account that there's 3 wild card spots.
And so if they
They
don't win
wouldn't be in the
they
wild
wouldn't
card
be in the
right
wild
now.
card.
It'd be a half game out right now.
I think, half game because they won yesterday.
Yeah,
right.
you still got New York. You still got who
well,
else?
New
is
York,
wild
they're
card
not
team?
isn't a factor. They're going to win their division.
No,
It won't be
they are.
close.
Last week I was like 100%
Say,
they
nah,
making it.
I
Now
don't
I'm
like
very
that.
confident. I am very listen. They're playing the Twins 8 times over a 12-day stretch,
Which
starting
could
I
swing.
believe next
Which
weekend,
could swing.
Yeah.
which is huge.
It is.
Now,
and
let's point out that the Guardians aren't in there because they're a division leader.
Okay.
They would
Right.
be they would be ahead
they
of
would be
Minnesota
a game and a half of
Baltimore.
Minnesota. So they are a game and a half out of that last wild card.
Did Toronto win last night?
I believe so. And they're a game and a half ahead of Minnesota, so that's how we know they're.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
tight.
you're right.
Oh, it's tight.
So
It's really tough.
those
yeah.
teams
You
are
know
all
what
in
though?
there.
I'll tell you. There's a couple
nervous,
things,
G.
and I wrote these down. I wrote these down because G. Bush, I know you're on the ledge.
Oh,
I want to
man.
bring you off the ledge.
Please
I want to
do.
bring you off the ledge, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay. 24 of the remaining 35 games are at home.
Okay.
Where they've been much better.
That's much better at home.
That's nice.
That's 2 out of 3 games
That's nice.
at home. Here's another thing that will get you off the ledge. And this is really positive. 9-game homestand to finish the season.
Okay.
Can you remember a time that a team had 9 straight at home?
That's
to
very
end the
unusual.
year?
That's nice.
You should be able to pack that.
Now
Like,
here's
I'm
what's
about to
gonna
say,
put
people should
you
come out
over
for
the
that.
top.
We got to get people
This
to come
one's
out.
gonna put G. Bush.
The team they're playing at the end?
Can we get the Guardians on line 1 for G. Bush? He wants to order his playoff tickets after he hears
Is
this.
it the Royals?
The final 6 games of the season are against the Royals.
I knew it.
I have no idea.
Oh, we in there. Oh, we good.
No idea.
Oh, we good. Yeah.
Okay, this
There's
is
never.
better.
There must be 2 makeup games.
Well,
or something.
Go ahead, let's stamp it then.
It's been a very fluky
Get the
season.
Get the T-shirts out.
Also, the remaining schedule for the Guardians, their winning percentage collectively is .480. That's the 4th easiest schedule in the American League.
But I look at this
I like
schedule. I
that.
don't think it's easy.
The Royals
but
got me.
6 to end the
I don't
year
understand
against
how that.
Kansas
I saw
City?
that. I saw that on ESPN the other day. I thought it was a mistake.
No, it's not a typo.
No, I know, but I thought originally it was a mistake.
And Bill, even just as surprising is the 9 straight games at home.
That's a lot
That's
of
true.
games.
That is a lot of games.
Baseball usually tries to.
Now, as you know, Jay, sometimes those teams that are out of it can be a little
listen,
scrappy.
they scare the hell out of you because
can
they've
be
got nothing
scrappy.
to lose.
Right.
And oftentimes
There's no
they're bringing
pressure.
up young kids who are chomping at the bit to show that they can
Right,
play
but
in
in
Major
the end, the
Leagues.
Royals don't have any starting
No,
pitching.
if they
so-
don't win 4 out of those 6, I would be wildly disappointed.
I feel good. Listen, obviously, a game and a half with 30 some odd games to go is certainly no guarantee.
None.
And I honestly don't think they'll make the wild card if they don't win the division. I mean, you never know, but I think it's division or bust. I do think they are going to win the division, but I'm really confident. I think what's really important to me is, listen, Quantrill is not going to blow you away with strikeouts, right?
No,
He's not a big strikeout
no.
pitcher. His strikeout rate is
He
probably
gave
one
up
of the
a
lowest.
hit in the 2nd inning
And that was it.
yesterday, and that was the only hit the Orioles had.
Yeah, they scored 1 run on 1 hit.
Yeah.
But Quantrill is really learning, developing as a pitcher.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Right? His command.
His command
You
is
think-
changing speeds, hitting his locations.
Right. Early,
He looks like a pitcher now.
In the past, he had a lot more walks. If you look at it, yesterday was the first time since I believe the 2nd week of May that he walked more than 2 guys in a game. He walked 3.
Yeah, he's normally got much better control.
But early in the season, he had games with 4 walks, 5 last year.
Yeah.
You're not seeing that at all.
I'm not worried about that. I thought I saw something yesterday when Rugnet Odor hit the deep ball to center.
Yeah.
He flipped his bat. He thought it was a home run.
Right.
And it ended up as a great catch in center field. And they immediately took a shot of Quantrill, and
Yes.
I loved his reaction to it.
It's awesome.
Without saying it, he said,
Bleep you.
"You can go do you know what?"
Yeah.
To Odor, because the last thing that a pitcher ever wants to see is, and it was immediate after contact. I mean, the ball was still over the infield, and he flipped his bat. And he came out of the box. He looked down right away. He thought he got it.
Yeah.
And the ball was
I got
caught.
all of that.
He got all of it.
And players are usually right when they think they
They're
got it.
almost always right. Now, the reason he wasn't right is because he hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. It was straight away center field. But I love Quantrill's reaction to that. It was basically, you know what you can go do.
Yeah.
And that tells me he's a bulldog, he's a competitor, and I want him with the ball in his hand
Yeah.
in the 3rd playoff game. And I think our rotation right now, I love it. I love it. I love Bieber, I love McKenzie, I love Quantrill, and I love our bullpen. I think we've got the best bullpen in baseball.
The Guardians definitely have the best bullpen in the American League. Is it the best in
not
baseball? I
pitching
mean,
no
it's
more?
right there. If
Depth,
it's not the
Bull.
best.
Think of the depth.
Yeah, I mean, it's
When was
excellent.
the last time they gave up an earned run? 2 weeks?
Well, right. Oh, okay.
We had the
that's
stat,
Quantrill.
Anthony. Actually, let's take.
Yeah, they haven't given up an earned
94.
run in
A couple weeks.
It's been a while. Everybody except for Eli Morgan and Brian Shaw. I trust everybody else. Wow.
And both those guys can get outs, but they also
Was
can
this
be shaky.
is this updated today or is this through
Yes, after last night's game.
31 innings, guys.
31 innings?
There's not
0
another
earned
bullpen in
runs,
baseball doing
44
that.
It's the best bullpen. I think they got the 2nd best rotation. I think Houston's got the best.
Houston scares the
But
hell
a
out of
big if. Verlander went on the injury
No, I
list
know he
yesterday.
did. I know, and that's
If
going to be
he's
something to
not
keep our
back,
eye
then the
on.
Guardians are one. I love their rotation because they got him and Framber Valdez, who's been amazing this year. But the Guardians are right there. I like their rotation better than the Yankees. Yankees lineup's a mess right now. They're very inconsistent outside of Judge. Rizzo's hit a ton of homers, but a lot of their
Judge, by the way, hit his 50th last night.
So let me ask you.
By the way, I'm rooting for Judge to hit 60.
I am
whatever,
too.
Right?
I'm totally
I hate
rooting
the Yankees,
for it.
but I don't hate Judge.
I don't either. And the thing of it is, like for years, for 39 years, 61 stood as the mark.
Let me ask
and then
you.
it went down, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
With the steroids, I believe Judge is clean.
I do too.
I think he's just
And
a lumberjack that can swing a
And I want
baseball bat.
Pujols to get to 700
Which,
this year.
really
which one,
pulling for
which
that.
one would you rather see, Pujols or Judge?
Pujols, because it's a lifetime
'Cause
achievement
it's it,
award,
yeah.
and I
Yeah.
love Albert Pujols.
And he's
one of the
retiring.
best role,
Yeah,
and
this is it.
he's likely done.
Yeah.
You know
What he had, 695?
If he gets to 695, I'm not sure he's
By
gonna
the way,
walk away.
since the All-Star break, he's having like a CC Sabathia
so
season.
a buddy of mine sent me a text, very cryptic.
Yeah.
Albert, question mark. And I knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what he was talking about. And I go, I can't imagine. Because everybody's looking like this is a career. Whenever a guy over 40 starts hitting like he's 25 again,
Yeah.
there could be chemicals.
And it
involved.
only happened mid-season.
I know,
And
but
here's
that,
the thing, Jay,
that means he went on a cycle at the All-Star break to finish with
Maybe.
700.
I hope not, but I'm giving him benefit of the doubt.
Conjecture.
I will say this. When you and I were kids, and you started to allude to this, the individual season home run record and the career home run record meant so much. You were a huge baseball fan.
Numbers you
I was
always
huge.
burned into your
Those were
mind.
numbers that meant so much.
Yes.
And we didn't, like, maybe we should have known, whatever, but like Sosa McGuire and then Bond, that was, like, by Bonds we kind of knew. But
Yeah.
Sosa McGuire, that was great. It was fun, and then it got tainted after. And now, like, I don't really look at the numbers that much, but I'm rooting for Judge to hit 62 home runs.
I hope he does.
I
am
think he
too.
can do it. He's not going to get to 70, but
No.
and I'm obviously rooting for Pujols to get to 700. And I don't want him to retire because I want him to break Bonds' record.
But you know what? He's not going to hit. He's not going to break. But he'd have to play 4 more years because he's not going to hit.
What is Bonds? What did Bonds get?
758, 750.
Your boy Bonds.
762.
762. Now we always.
The way he's
use-
played the second half, he might do it in 2 years. But
Because you're not going to like it, but
Oh,
we're
here
just
we
going to
go.
put it out there.
That's sad.
that's sad.
Wow, the backstory and the.
But
We'll see y'all tomorrow,
We'll
though.
be doing post-game show.
Yeah, we're
What are
out.
we doing?
Back tomorrow. Friday's the Buckeye Show. Have a great 22 and a half hours. We'll see you soon.